Hi and welcome. My name's Natalie and this is So Stitch So Nat. Today I have a mid-year WIP parade for you. It is June, Friday the 20th, and I have, I think it's 52 that I can show you. I have one that's a secret stitch, and I might start something later, so that won't appear in this video. So yeah, I have notes to the side, and I thought it would be easier, hopefully it sounds alright, to do this in this format rather than show you face to face. Plus I just managed to water down myself, so but we're having a heat wave here. Right, my oldest active WIP was started the 25th of December 2020. Just unravel this a bit more, and this is, and I'm realising that's upside down for you. This is Victorian charm by Dimensions. Yeah. Haven't touched that this year. In terms of what it'll look like when it's done, it'll look like that. So you can see haven't done the railings at the top, but I've done all the way. I've got some bits to fill in around here. So I guess, actually I might say I'm less than half, maybe, or about halfway. And that is the only WIP from 2020. So what I will say is I'll probably just cut between project swap ins and swap outs, just to make the video a bit shorter and so you didn't have to listen to me rustle through everything. So project number 2 was started the 1st of January 2021, and it's the Darth Vader. This is I think it's still available on eBay as a kit or just as a paper chart. I have seen a finish of this actually on Jen's Stitchy Corner on her Instagram, and it did look really good. Mine is done on a 25 count Mugana, however the kit came with 16 count Blackadder. I'm stitching this for my son. He wants it turned into a cushion, hence there's lots of fabric everywhere. So my plan next time I pick this up is to put some more gridding in these two sections. These are the last 2 pages. The cape obviously comes out down here, but predominantly more stitching here. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to go left or right. Yeah, stitches all called kit threads. So my next project is Hello Sunshine. I got this when it was a SAL as a kit. I swapped out the fabric for 18 count Foba. I wouldn't recommend. I have to stitch it 1 full square at a time so the thread doesn't slip, but I am stitching it with all the kit threads. My other Hello Dear was stitched on this fabric, and I wanted to match all 4. I haven't started the other 2. So I think I've done 3 parts on this. And I have touched it this year. This was started on the 18th of May 2021. And I'll put a picture of what it looks like when it's done. So where are we up to? Number 4 is Northern Needleworks Expressions Twisted Band Sampler. I bought this as a PDF from the Etsy shop, I think it was, although I think they've got their own website. And I always keep this here to motivate myself. I'm stitching it on a 36 count Edinburgh linen 2/1 with the call for DMC. and I'm liking the coverage. I wouldn't say it's bulky, but it hasn't got that prim look to it, and the speciality stitches are coming out okay as well. So I'm not sure I'm at 25% on that one or not. You can get this cross stitches into Pattern Keeper, but not the speciality stitches. Sorry, with the last project, that was started on the 3rd of September 2021, and this one was started on the 8th of October 2021, which is a Netflix and Stitch SAL from Fanstitchic. I'll put it below. You had 2 options each month. I've stitched, these are all ones that came with it. I've still got Emily in Paris to finish, and Lucifer to go in there, and then I'm putting in my own Floor is Lava, Man vs Bee, and then I've bought a pattern off Etsy which I just need to tweak a little bit to fit in the box, but I'll have Lucifer as well. And that is stitched on a 16 count Ada. Used to be my swim project, but at the minute that is the Gilmore's and the SAL. So WIP number 6 is Little Fox Stitching Christmas Gingerbread Village. I think they're a Russian designer. They were on Etsy and then they moved to another platform, so I'm not sure if this is available or not currently. And I'm stitching mine on I think it's a 28 count even weave by Zweigart in pearl grey, and that is how much I have. I think I'm in the between 50 and 70%, I can't quite remember. If I remember, I'll pop it on the screen. Stitched with all the call for DMC. Was inspired to stitch this after seeing it on Sew Me Sarah's channel, and I know she hasn't finished either. So yeah, we both need to work on that. I haven't touched that this year yet. Project number 7 is Always Remember by Plum Street. This is my first WIP carried over from 2022, and it was started the 12th of May 2022. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Belfast linen in light blue by Zweigart. Stitching 2/2 with the call for DMC, and I'm personalising that. So I've recharted this. I've recharted this, and so I've put the flag in here. I'm going to put Lest We Forget, and then some purple poppies as well as the red ones. So project number, what are we up to? Number 8 was a Jolly July start. I started this on the 1st of July 2022, so it's after the SAL had finished, but I've tried to sort of mark out where the SAL bits were by looking at photos. Can't remember it finished by the time I bought it. I guess it must have done, because otherwise it would have been blurred out. I think I bought that directly from their website, which is Pumpkin Frosted Stitchery. I'm doing mine on a 32 count Murano in burgundy with the call for DMC 2/2, and I was inspired to stitch this on this red fabric by Reseal from Kokohama Stitchery. She's not posting it at the minute. Sorry, you can see a shadow. I'm sat on the floor and my legs are going a little bit numb, and I do not want to repeat of last time I tried to stand up with numb legs. That wasn't good. And number 9 we have Silver Creek sampling, my Christmas list. This is on a 36 count country vintage mocha in linen, so it's Edinburgh, and I'm stitching it with the Call for DMC. So I'm over halfway, but there's still quite a bit of stitching to go in there, and I'm stitching it 1/2. And like the different feel of the coverage on that as well. My twisted band sampler was 2/2, whereas this is 1/2. And those candy canes cause me no end of problems. Could not count them. That was started the 3rd of July 2022, so another jolly July start. The next project I've actually UFO'd, which was Beach Bliss SAL, that I was stitching with Danielle the Cardiff Stitcher. I started that on the 20th of August 2022, when I broken my foot from standing up. Yeah, it's full coverage. It's not the full. It was a mini, not a full. But it's just not calling to me. It's on a 25 count Nagana. I think I was doing it 1/1 4 cross on 25 count Nagana. But it's upside down. You'll see that at some point. Right, next is Friends Quotes by Stitch Area. Don't know if that's available on Etsy anymore. On a 14 count white Ada. Although I'm looking at it thinking, is it 16? But it's definitely a white Ada. 2/2, Call for DMC. And it will, I don't think I've got a big picture. I'll pop a picture in of what it will look like when it's done. So I finished the top half from starting the bottom. It hasn't been touched this year, and that was started 17th of September 2022. Love Quilts Stitch SAL. If I've got a picture, I'll put it in. And I've done 2 parts, I want to say. I think it was a 5-parter. So I'm very delinquent on this. This was started on the 1st of October 2022. Yeah, Call for DMC. You can only stitch this to send off to Love Quilts. It's not a pattern for commercial release. If you just, I'll put the link below if you want to know more about Love Quilts and what they do. Next is the last project started in 2022, which is Opening Gambit by Long Dog. And that's what it will look like. Mine's on a 36 count Edinburgh white linen, and I'm stitching it 1/2 with ampersand by Country Cottage threads. My gridding went a little bit off at the bottom, but I have gone all the way to the bottom, and I do need to check that no page bits have gone out of line. I think I keep seeing people talking about it. It's making me a little bit nervous, and this went out a bit out of line when I was gridding it, so that's why it's not gridded. Yeah, so I need to check that. I don't know how many stitches are in the top or the bottom, but I suspect I'll probably pull out the bottom if I have to do that. So next, where's my, oh, So for the first project of 2023, which is number 13 in this WIP parade, is Chatelaine Evening in the Park. This is what it'll roughly look like when it's done. I'm stitching mine on a 32 count Country Vintage Mocha Murano, mainly with the call for threads. There are some substitutes in there. I've still got quite a way to go. I'm just starting the edge bits around this bit, so I've still got to come out, you know, quite a bit more yet. But I'm beading as I go, apart from like the big crystals, which I'll put on at the end, and that just marks, that just marks where my top is. I'm not sure what happened here. You can't see that through the lens, but I can see it in real life. I'm hoping it'll get covered up. If not, I might have to get a bit creative. So my next project is number 14, which is this kit that I've said I would finish stitching. I ended up restarting it on another piece of 14 count white Ada, because I was having trouble picking up where they'd gone wrong, and the chart was quite painful to work with, but I've kind of gotten a rhythm with it. I was doing this as a monthly stitch, but I fell woefully behind on that, although I was ahead when I stopped, because koi carp's getting a lot more attention, which you'll see shortly. Stitched 202 with the kit threads. Project number 15 is Lindsay Farn's Blinking Death. This is available on eBay as a kit or a paper chart. They do all the Terry Pratchett Discworld patterns. My husband loves the Discworld stuff, so I'm stitching this for him. It's on a 32 count fabric flare in Summer Cloud, I want to say, and it's an even weave. Summer Cloud Sky, available from Lakeside Needlecrafts in the UK. And I'm stitching this 2/2 with the call for DMC. I've still got back stitching to go on. Need to finish his cape and then the two heads. But it's actually quite a reasonable stitch. I don't think I tried to put it into back keeper. I'm working off a paper pattern on this one. Oh no, I think I put it into Good Notes actually now. So I'm working from there. Project number 16 on to 2024. This was my New Year's Day start. And 2024 seemed to be the year of starts. This is Mirabilia, Dressmaker's Daughter. Absolutely love this. And I'm stitching mine on the call for Permin Milk Chocolate fabric in 32 count. It's a linen. So I have made a start on all 4 seasons. I don't know why I've got, oh, I think it's because the top and bottoms, you can't see that, but the top and bottom's narrow, which is why I've got less on this side than I have on this side. I am currently stitching upside down, that's why the cover's on this side. So I'm working in all of those across the top there. I haven't had this out this year. It has called to me a few times, but I need to get it set up on my Lowry stand to be able to stitch it. It's not an option at the minute, but that'll be rectified in a couple of weeks. Next WIP is number 17. This was also started 1st of January 2024. This is the Gilmoreism SAL by Forbidden Fibre Co. This will what it look like when it's done. I'm stitching mine with the call for DMC 2/2 on a 32 count light blue Murano by Zweigart. This is currently my swim project, or try and get it out and stitch half an hour on it when I can. More on that on my next video. But yeah, so I've got to fill in that bit, and then I can start working on the lower half. I just finished the frames off as well, and tuck that ending. I'm doing a mixture of stitching in hand and stitching in a hoop with this one. I find it much easier when it's just like a long straight line to stitch in hand, but for like the back stitch or the more fiddlier bits, I find it easier to put it in a hoop. Number 18 is Butter Believe It by Silver Creek Samplery. This was started on the 15th of January on a 32 count Belfast linen in snow. So it's got white iridescence with the call for threads. I had to unpick, I did get further than this, but I had to unpick, but I also haven't quite stitched it all back in yet. And I haven't touched that this year yet. And as you can see, it's a chart from 2021, which I'll change whenever I finish it. The idea was to stitch on it when we had film night, but I tend to get distracted or not want to work on it, and not wanting to do it when the lights, I need more light, I think. So next is Cherry Blossom by Dimensions. Oh sorry, Cherry Blossom Creek. This was started 15th of January 2024. As you can see, it's a full coverage. There's very limited back stitch in it. It's on the kit fabric, which is a Ada, I think 16 count Ada, with the call for threads. Yeah, 16 count light blue Ada, and that needle minder's from Cotton and Clay UK. Highly recommend. Available on her Etsy. So yeah, absolutely love the pinks in it. Got goals this year though, so I'm trying to focus on the goals and try and pick up later. Yeah, I find Dimensions kits hard to work with, but I've stitched so many of them, I should be used to it by now. Speaking of Dimensions, I think I kind of went on a roll with Dimensions, slightly inspired by Hello from Liz Matthews. And she was getting into all her dimensions, so this was a SAL with her. I kind of went off and did my own thing. It's a 18 count white Ada, 2/1 with the kit threads. It's a Gold Petites collection, and this is number 20, and I started this on the 1st of February 2024. So there would have been another project, but I finished that one of the only 2 finishes I've had this year, which was Stitch for Pride by D's 20 Stitches. I haven't got that with me to show today. I've UFO'd the next project, which is Introverted, that I started for my birthday in 2024. So that's now UFO'd. Project number 21 is Aurora Cabin by Dimensions, on the kit fabric with all the kit threads. I believe this is a 16 count Ada, yeah, 16 count grey Ada. It's like a grey blue, but this bit up here, which you can barely see, is 6 strands, half stitch over 1, so it was a bit tough going, so I think that's partially why I put it down, plus I haven't gridded all of it either. But yeah, that was meant to be a SAL to be finished by the next leap year. Don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. Number 22 was started on the 8th of March. Sorry, yeah, Aurora Cabin was started on the 29th of February 2024. So yeah, leap day. And then this was started on the 8th of March 2024 as part of Steel City Stitchers March Madness, I think. Yes, it was. And I've got another projects as well. This is on a 18 count white Ada 1/2, and you get all supplies to make this up. It's going to be very, so that's the top of the box, so it's going to be quite diddy. But yeah, just need to get on it. There's all half stitches here, which is part of the reason I put it down. But I did hear a tip of using a sharp needle to go through the middle of the squares, so next time I pick that up I might try that as well. So project number 23 was Luca S Lolly. This is my first Luca S kit that I've stitched on. It's a 16 count Ada, full crosses. There is some back stitch in it. Yeah, loved it when I picked it up. Do need to pick it up again. But yeah, I've definitely got an itch for Luca S now. So project number 24, ironically, was started on the 24th of March 2024, and they came up with a SAL to go with it to stitch it by the following March 2024, the following year. I failed on that, and if you saw my last video, I worked on it and failed to show you it in its full glory. So here we are. This is stitched with 324 colours of DMC on a 40 count white Vidal, so it's like an even weave, but 40 count. Stitched with all the call for DMC. She has got other patterns out which I have bought, so I literally just keep it with a full bobbin box, and just pick it up as and when. So project number 25 is Arctic Blast by Caroline Manning. This is a freebie on the Facebook group. If you go into the files, I'm stitching mine on a 16 count easy grid Ada with all the call for DMC. I have worked on it this year just a little bit in May, just with all the house stuff going on. It didn't get much attention as I would have liked. So project number 26 is Modern Folk Embroidery, Song of the Nightingale. I chose to do mine on a 40 count white Vidal even weave, 1/2, and I chose Valdani threads, blue soiree and darkened blue, and then just a DMC 3828. I'm thinking about restarting this on a 36 count 1/2, just because it's not calling to me. I think it's the thread, the fabric that's putting me off. So yeah, I've put some more fabric in my bag, and I think I might restart it on this. I just need to check the size of it, but technically it is still a WIP at the minute. So number 27 was started the 22nd of May 2024. That last one was started on the 6th of May 2024. This one is, I'll show a picture of what it looks like when it's done, but it's the Caterpillar Cross Stitch North America SAL. I know she now has an Australian one as well. I've also got the British one. I haven't got the Australian one. but at some point that will be on my list to do. Oh, and she's got Adventurer weights as well, which I've also got kitted up. It's on a 32 count light blue Murano, 2/2 on the call for, but with the call for DMC. And I think I've finished part 2 of the SAL. So next one is number 28, and it's With Thy Hands. I started as 27th of May with Sally from Flossy Sews and Grows as part of the Fun for 50 SAL 2024. I can't believe it's the first one I've pulled out, but I started so many things. So this is on 40 count Country Vintage Mocha in the Newcastle linen by Zweigart. I'm stitching this with predominantly the call for 1/2. I think she calls for just 1 over die, and I think I just use a DMC equivalent. Just trying to see. Yeah, there's 2 weeks, but I've gone with the DMC alternative. So yeah. You tend to see that one quite regularly on my channel. So project number 29 was started on the 1st of May 2024. I wanted to stitch a mermaid. I had all the stuff, wanted to start it. It was a SAL, I didn't start it on time. Mainly because the threads didn't come in time. I've not quite finished, not gridding, but marking out on this fabric, and then I've got the other fabric to mark out as well. But that's part 1. Can't remember where part 2 is, but I thought I'd just show you. These are all the Tom and Lily overdyed. They are absolutely gorgeous in colour, which is what drew me to the project. There's some petite Gingerbread and some other DMC in there as well. I think she classifies this as an expert level, but the owl that I did, if you've seen that as a previous finish, her charts are really good. They're a French designer, and they have their own website. So Fabi Riley Designs. So project 30 was started on the 16th of June 2024. It's by Luca S. It's called The Aquarium. I tend to call it my koi carp because there's so many koi carps on there. I'm stitching this for my dad for his big birthday in September. I have now finished what was my May section, so spoiler alert. I want to finish this bit off here, and then I'm going to do that page and then that page. So yeah, cracking on with it like a maniac, but sorry for the hanging threads. This is, I tend to pick it up if I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to push it. I'll work on something else, but this is my go-to stitch at the minute. There are some back stitches that need to go in as well, but yeah, they provide you 2 needles. They provide you like a normal tapestry needle and a sharps needle, just for piercing through. It's on a 16 count, like a beige but an easy grid, really easy to work with. Love the needle as well, can't recommend Luca S more. The charts are really big, and easy to read. I've put mine into good notes, so I mark it off in there. So project number 31 was started on the 6th of July for Christmas in July. and it's Glitter Village by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I've made a start on house 1. This is on a 32 count natural silver linen. It's like the raw linen with the silver specks running through it. Yeah, it's definitely linen. I've only got the DMC, which says that it's 3609/17. Haven't got the thing written down. So I've got all 9 of these. This is what it look like when it's vaguely look like when it's done. And I'm stitching it with all the call for classic colourworks, even the white. Number 32 was Octopus Be Scorn You. This started on holiday last year, so 23rd of August 2024. And I've just started on the bottom. It's on a 14 count white Ada with the call for DMC. As you can see, you might be able to tell I've started something and then pulled it out because I realised it wasn't in the right orientation. And the thing about doing these Visconios is it relies on everything being where it should be all 4 times. And I think I probably will take this away again this year. Stitch with all the call for DMC 201. So my other holiday project that I didn't finish, it's a Blooming Swan SAL, start on 24th of August 2024 on this blue spruce 32 count linen, which you saw in the Narinda SAL, which is a project by Fabi Riley. This is by Max Pigeon of Pigeon Cute Designs. There was a SAL, everyone was stitching on it, and I finally bit the bullet and joined in using the call for DMC. Even got the needle minder to go with it from Cotton Clay UK again. I have stitched on that this year. Number 34 was the Holly Jolly Kitchen by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This was a SAL. I got it as a kit. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And I haven't even finished part 1 on this 32 count linen in pale green. Kind of like almost like a turquoisey green. Stitch it with all the kit threads, which is DMC 2/2. I made a mistake, I had to pull it back. I think I pulled it back again as well. And the white stitching on the pale fabric isn't great in the evening, so it needs a bit more light. Project number 35 is Americana Blue. This was another Fun for 50 SAL. This was for Sally's birthday, Sally of Flossie Sews and Grows. And I'm stitching mine on the back side of a Country Vintage Mocha 40 count, which I think is like latte. I need to look that up. But yeah, I'm only just up to here, and this is 40 count, so it's much bigger than you think. I chose stitching mine with a 40 count Valdani in Privative Blue, 1/2. Right, number 36 is A Touch of Magic SAL by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I started this on the 6th of October 2024. I bought it as a kit. I think I might have started this quite a lot later. I only put a few days stitching in, but it's on the kit. Well, I want to say it's the kit even with 32 count. I would say it's like a pearl grey. She normally uses a Zweigart fabric, so that I haven't got a edge on this one. Next is my Caterpillar Cross Stitch, which is upside down. I'm looking at it going, I can't remember where I left it. And now I look at it more, I'm like, oh yeah. I went across there and made a mistake, and then I've got to fruggle this, but I'm coming down with this as well. So this is Ruskin's Penguins by Modern Folk Embroidery on a 32 count mint splash Murano with all, well, I think it's Anchor. I think I'm using Anchor 403. Oh, I've got DMC 310 in there, and B5200. Number 38 is the Quacker by Star Parade Designs. This is also a SAL which I'm not very actively joining and started later. It's on a 32 count Murano in Azure Blue by Zweigart, and I'm just using, it's either Blanc or B5200. No, it is Blanc. I've got this is just on like a Notion, well I say Notions pouch, it's just a pouch that I'm using, rather than on a scissor fob. So yeah, these are also from Laura again, at Cotton and Clay. That's the yeah. That was started the 26th of October 2024. Last page, guys. It's nearly a full page though. Set me over halfway. Number 39 is G's for Gingerbread Man by Wild Starry Snaps. This is on a 36 count fabric frere in cream, which I can't find anywhere. My plan is to make at least 4 gingerbread men, and then the back, which has got like a year and initials, I think, and a little present motif. But it's just a good fill-in stitch using the call for threads, which are weeks, and then a black and a white. And I do have the accessories to go with it. So next was a Jingle Ball start. So this was started the 6th of December, because I was trying to frantically get done the Festive Forest. So this kind of got put aside. Yeah, really basic start. Yeah, love the pattern, want to get it out for Jolly July. And I'm stitching this 1/2 on 32 count Country Vintage Mocha Murano. That's an even weave. Got all the bits to finish it. And next one would have been Cozy Cabin that I carried over, that I started on Christmas Eve, so December 2024. But I finished that in March. But then I started Blackbird Designs for Sarah's birthday and the Fun 50 SAL. She was doing Strawberry Fields Forever, which I'd already stitched, so I asked if I could join in and use the Blackbird. And I'm using Blackbird by Classic Colourworks. I'm on my second skein. I know I've made a mistake somewhere up here, which is why I've come down here to get the pot in, and I can position these slightly differently. It's on a 25 count Mushroom Nugana, 2/1, and I'm stitching it one stitch at a time, although there's not that much variegation in the thread, but it's a lovely brown colour, like a chocolatey, almost black colour. So next is Cabin in the Woods, which was started the 12th of December, so before Cozy Cabin, so I went slightly out of order. This is by Flosstubers. I was stitching with Stitch SAL, but she's now finished. But however, I have reached 25% on it. I'm stitching mine on a 32 count Murano slate Grey by Zweigart, Call for DMC. I am out one that way and one that way, so my bits come slightly closer to the border, but I'm happy with that. I think when I pull it all out to do it again, I tend to predominantly stitch on this when I'm watching Sally's Flosstubes, but occasionally I will get it out and just stitch on it anyway. Quite a lot of filling to do, but I love all the colours. I think the grey works really well with it. I think if I could do it again, I'd maybe do it on a linen instead. Right, so first project of 2025, which was started on the 1st of January 2025, is the Fabulous Houses. I wanted to start with the castle, not with Santa's house. I'm stitching on a 40 count Newcastle linen 1/2 with the call for threads. Not sure if I'm not restarting, but not going to do them all on one big piece, which was the plan. And I'm not sure I'm going to stitch them all now. I do have all 13, but I might pick a few favourites and do those. Basically, because this is the only start I've got on it. We'll see. TBC. The other start I had that day, which is number 45, was the next one in the Pokemon song set, which is Squirtle, and that's what it'll look like when it's done. Stitching mine only, I think it's 18 count Blackadder 2/1 with the call for DMC. There's only 3 colours. I was making this one of my monthly goals, but it's kind of fell behind. But I think once I pick it up again, it'll be quite easy to get going on it. Like I say, it's only 3 colours. It's in Pankeeper, so hopefully I'll pick that up soon. So next is my SAL One Stitch at a Time for Stitch Across the Pond Facebook group. I'm stitching mine on a Rosings Parlour by Swan Bay Fabrics in 36 count linen. You can see some of it slightly ghosting over here, on part 3. So yeah, woefully behind. I was missing a thread and then stopped stitching it, and the house took over, so, and that's where we're up to. I think I will get it done eventually. 47 is my birthday start for this year, which is RATM Quaker Turtle. I've gone for a 32 count Silver Moon Murano. I'm using DMC 3810, should I say, 2/2. Next was my Nash Dash start, which is Lindy Stitches, which is actually from the previous year, but Beachcomber, on a 32 count Belfast raw linen, with the call for threads, and I've got the call for beads now as well. So this was started the 29th of March 2025. This one does call to me as well. It's got a nice summery stitch. Potentially could take it away with me. I'll probably leave the beads behind though, and maybe the dinky dye that's in the whale. Next was my latest camp stitch, which will start on the 4th of April 2025. This was one of the bi-monthly kits, Magical Mandana, so it's all the kit supplies on a 14 count white Ada. So next is my, oh no, I'm out of order again. I'll do this one, I'll go back. So this is Button Box by Blackbird Designs, and it's in Friendship's Way. I know Sally from Stitch SAL just started this as well. I'm using, I don't think it's called Vintage Sun, I think it's Vintage Sand Dune, but it's like the same as the rest of their vintage range, like mottled on one side, but it's like a creamy colour, creamy golden colour. And I'm using the call for Classic Colourworks. It's all Classic Colourworks, and one Simply Shaker, which is Gentle Art. I've also got Old Brick as well. I have decided to veer away from the pattern slightly, and there's also a pattern correction, so watch out for that one. So my Christmas Day start last year was the Twisted Christmas Sampler by Northern Needleworks Expressions. This is the one with the beads and speciality stitches, and there's my small start on that. I chose to use the 3 colours for the satin stitch, but I might pull that out and use the, I can't remember if it's a colourist one, but it's got those 3 colours in, and I won't have to keep switching colours, but we'll see. This is on I think it's a 32 count even weave in raw, or taupe, might be taupe. I don't think I've written it down, which was ever so clever. I'm not sure if I'm using Petite Gingerbread or Cryonic or Demonte for the glittery bits. It's a 28 count Brittany even weave in taupe. The other one I missed was my Stained Glass SAL by Carolyn Manning. This is a SAL that you could purchase on her website. It was advertised in the Facebook group, but it's got Cryonic in it, and I'm stitching it with a call for DMC on a 32 count even weave in the colourway Plum. I stitched quite a bit on this in May. We are now up to April. Part 3's out now, because it started in April, and it's 2 blocks per release, so I'm still on the first part. Was aiming to get a block done each month, but that hasn't happened. Stitch 2/2, and the black is Anchor 403, not the DMC 310 as called for. And my last project, last new start for 2025, was started on the 1st of June. I've got this looped around. It's on a 36 count platinum Edinburgh linen. I'm stitching with all the before call for DMC, and it's Owl Forest Star Dragon SAL, which is part of the Stitch Dragons for Mum on Lynn's channel, the Lancashire Stitcher, and I'm stitching it 1/2. And I need to get pictures, so I've popped one in of what it looks like. But I just bought that off the Owl Forest website. I can't show you the last project that I've got, because that's for the smalls exchange in September when I go to the retreat. So I hope you've enjoyed today. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. I do sometimes do a bit of needlepoint or a bit of sewing. I can't think what else random things that appear on my channel. Not so much lately, it's been mainly cross stitch, but thank you for spending time with me. Hopefully I've managed to edit this video down. I know I've been sat here for nearly 2 hours, but I think I can chop it down, maybe get it out under the 90-minute mark, but you'll know, and maybe go and start something new. Yeah, Shack on the Shore is calling to me, and the SAL starts today, and it's all kitted ready to go, but you'll see that on my next Flosstube, which hopefully will be either the end of June, to end of this month, which is only like a week away, or beginning of July. Bye for now.